In today's video, we're looking at the Hungarian military saber from USS. This one has become a favorite of mine. I think with some specs, up close looks, and a little bit of movement. All right, my only thing with this design at all that I don't really like, I wish it was a little bit different, is the back of the heel of the hand has a steel piece here. I wish that had a piece of leather on it for a little bit more grip, especially being in a high humidity area. Other than that, I love everything about this design. My favorite part of it is, other than the handle just being really, really well made, is it has a slight curve to the saber. I'll show you this before we get into the blade itself. It's a steel scabbard, which you're gonna get in the up close looks. This ring right here doesn't move, neither of them do. So if you were gonna wear this underneath the hip, you have that available to you. So that's a steel scabbard that comes with it. I love everything about this thing. From the curve of the blade to the handle to just the overall aesthetic of it. I like that it's more narrow, it flies extremely well. Let's look at some technical specs. 1 pound, 13 ounces, 5.5 inch point of balance from the guard. So if you are squeezing the center, holding this in the center, where you have the thrust presented forward, whether you're going into these larger cuts, to bring it back to the center, it just flies extremely well. The handle is a wood cord leather wrapped and braided wire. And then we have the hook at the end. That hook is there to aid in cut. So if you are clearing the center, that's gonna help with getting the blade back around, and also just offers a little bit more ergonomic to that for that design. So that way if your hand slides, it's not going all the way freaking down. You can slide into the hook with that pinky side, and it also helps steer the blade when you are presenting the thrust. Nothing really negative to say about this thing at all, other than I might put a little bit of tape on the back of it from my own training. I'm keeping this one for my solo training. I love it, it's a great design. It's the closest thing I've found in production to a Spanish military saber that I don't have to spend a lot more money to get it custom done. So I like this a lot as far as for saber. So I've been training with this in my yard for the last month, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna get it sharpened. I don't need to. I've done plenty of cut testing already, so I'm not even worried or not really even interested, honestly, in cutting with it. I just want to train with it. So going through guards, going through cut, going through thrust. If you are gonna get this sharpened, you can add that at cultofathena.com. This one has no edge. This is also supposed to have a back edge that's a little bit longer than a palm distance. And that's for top edge strikes, going through back of the blade, going through draw cuts, pulling the thrust out, things like that. So that's why the top edge is there. Handle design, we've got the hook at the end, which keeps your hand away from glancing blades. If someone tries to ride that blade down and cut your hand, they can't, whether you're on one side or the other. So that's really good news. And then final thing I'll say about it too is that cutting with it, going into large circles or into small circles on saber, on these type of cuts that are associated with saber, whether that's punch cut or this large circle, it just flies really well. I mean, getting that back around to thrust, or getting that back around to thrust on small circle, holding these different thrust positions, just a really, really well-designed blade. So definitely gonna keep this one. Let's do some up close looks of this one in the scabbard and out of the scabbard. All right, talking about movement with this one, I already kind of talked about that with my first impressions. Cut, really, really good. Moving through the guard position, nothing to worry about with that. Let's take a look at a little bit of movement of cut, thrust, and guard with the Hungarian military saber. All right, so thanks for joining me for this review of the Hungarian military saber from Universal Swords USS. This is a lightweight saber that's pretty versatile between cut and thrust. If you wanted to get this sharpened for cut testing, add this to your fencing training when you're training, by yourself in your yard, like I am. Or if you want just to add this to your collection, it's gonna be up on a sword stand. Really versatile and unique blade shape. To buy this one, click the link in the description below this video. Make sure to follow us on TikTok and on Instagram. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching the reviews, make sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get alerted when new reviews are up, and I'll see you in the next one.